hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy.
This is live from New Delhi. You're watching DT India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Sakal Bhatt, and coming up in the next 30 minutes. Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, India's market regulator, to constitute high-level panel on conflict of interest body to look into disclosures on property, investments and liabilities of members. Jailed Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu declared opposition presidential candidate amidst fierce protests as over 1,100 people detained in the unrest. US and Russia talk on maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea and other confidence-building measures in Riyadh. Kremlin says Russia and US have common understanding on ending Ukraine war. Securities and Exchange Board of India, or SEBI, has decided to constitute a high-level committee on conflict of interest disclosures pertaining to property, investment and liabilities. The high-level committee will comprise of eminent persons and experts with relevant background. The committee will comprehensively review and recommend or make recommendations for enhancing the existing framework for managing conflicts of interest, related matters and disclosures.
The day I had joined, I had mentioned that we'll come up with our plan, how we will handle the conflict of interest and other issues. So today the board has decided to constitute a high-level committee to undertake a comprehensive review of the provisions relating to conflict of interest, disclosures pertaining to property, investments, liabilities, etc., and related matters in respect of members, that includes the chairman and officials of the board.
Well, SEBI also proposed in the board meeting to increase the FPI threshold under the size criteria.
The board has decided to revise based on public comments and recommendations of FPI Advisory Committee. So this size criteria is now being taken from 25,000 crore to 50,000 crore. But please note that the concentration criteria remains the same.
Now let's go live across to Mumbai, from where my colleague Shama Mishra joins us live. She was there in the presser, Shama, and in fact you also had some questions for the new SEBI boss. To begin with, let's quickly talk about the big takeaways of the board meeting today, especially in the domain of ease of doing business and corporate compliance.
Well, Sakal, you've already mentioned the important issues that were addressed here and the important decisions that were approved here. Now, we all know about the earlier boss of Securities and Exchange Board of India, Madhipuri Butch, and the related matters which were highlighted by the Hindenburg. And now to address that particular issue, we could say that, to get a more transparent board over here, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, in its first board meeting under the chairmanship of Tuhin Kanta Pandey, they've announced that they'll be having a high-level committee which will be consisting of eminent personalities and experts, and they'll be reviewing the entire guidelines, entire way of how things work. They'll also be looking into the ways the disclosures are done, also about the liabilities, about the investments and everything related to that. Now they are expected to do the entire do the review comprehensively and give a report within 3 months. So we can expect in the next 3 months something concrete will also come up from the Securities and Exchange Board of India. Apart from that, we've also heard that other decisions are comprising where the threshold for the criteria 2, which was currently at 25,000, it is now upgraded to 50,000. So this will also, for the disclosure, it will also enhance this limit, in this particular limit. And for this particular point point over here, we heard from the SEBI chief that the markets have shown that they have more depth in them, and that is why this decision has been taken. Other decisions also are related to the key positions of the market infrastructure institutions and how things overall work. So these were the important decisions taken over here, and we could expect more press releases or more communication from SEBI for investors awareness and related issues in the upcoming future.
A little more elaboration on how SEBI is going to play a proactive role under the new leadership as far as the investors' protection is concerned. We know that the retail investors' sentiment has seen an all-time high in recent times, so that has also been factored in.
Well, Sakal, you've already mentioned that retail investors' participation is at all-time high, and this is a subject close to every regulator's heart. So over here also, we did understand from SEBI chief and all of his board members, all of his colleagues, that how the SEBI has been undertaking rigorous activities, rigorous exercises to protect the investors' sentiment. And now that the market has seen the retail investors' participation more than ever, it is very important to balance this particular risk management side of it and also help the market to grow. So SEBI has been undertaking a lot of activities, a lot of awareness for investor awareness programs, and they've also been having their own committee to see how the investors are, the behavior are, they're planning, that they're studying the behavior of the investors. And over there also we've heard that the particular report will be expected in a quarter. So the investors are somebody the regulators are looking closely to, because as and when the power of spending more money comes into the hand of retail investors, there are also so many platforms that are ready to scam people, ready to spam people, and just because the regulators are wanting to make sure that this money, the hard-earned money, does not go into the hands of spammers, there are so many programs engaged from SEBI, and overall, we could say that SEBI, from its online partnership with Meta and other organizations, they've taken down around 70,000 posts from the social media that were misleading and that were giving people this kind of idea that quick money could be made. So these 70,000 posts have been taken down, but we all know that this task is humongous, this task is huge, and as and when one post is taken down, another 10 posts come up, and that is why the regulator, the SEBI, along with other Meta and other institutions, they are keeping a close watch, and as and when required, they'll be doing, putting stricter regulations or coming up heavily on these posts and the people who are posting it.
Sharma, you've been tracking markets very closely, though it's too early to preempt, but do you think, in your understanding, this is likely to have an impact on the markets in next 2 to 3 days?
On the market front also, SEBI chief did say that it is not in his position to to comment anything on the markets, whether it's good or it's bad. But we have seen a lot of correction, and like every time we do say that once the market goes down, it will have the same potential. It will have a higher potential of coming back, of bouncing back up. And over here also, we will have to wait and watch for tomorrow when the markets open and what kind of reaction the markets are giving. But largely we are seeing that markets have been driven by the external factors, and now that this particular PC has been addressed, this particular domestic point has been done and in the home front, so we will have to see how markets are reacting, if markets are reacting at all to this particular PC and these announcements.
All right, many thanks, Shama, for joining us and decoding the whole thing for our viewers. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining. And since we were talking about markets, the Indian stock market ended in green on Monday, with the key market indices maintaining a positive run for the 6 consecutive sessions. The Nifty was hovering around over 23,600, while Sensex gained over 1,000 points to end at over 77 1,900 points, with most sectors making recoveries after several months of lackluster trades. Axis Bank, SBI, TCS and Tech Mahindra were among the top gainers. Even the public sector undertaking have been making significant recoveries over the past 6 sessions. Stronger rupee and improved buying from foreign institutional investors have played a major role in helping the market rebound. India's President Draupadi Murmu graced the Silver Jubilee celebrations of the Chhattisgarh Legislative Assembly in Raipur on Monday. While addressing the Assembly, President Murmu said that the task of connecting people affected by left-wing extremism to the mainstream of society has reached its final stage. Further, she expressed confidence that the people of state will soon achieve success in their efforts to completely free Chhattisgarh from extremism. Well, India observed World Tuberculosis Day on Monday, reaffirming its commitment to eliminate the deadly disease by 2025. The day aims to raise awareness about the global health threat posed by TB, which primarily affects the lungs and spreads through the air when an affected person coughs, sneezes or spits. On this day, Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare addressed the World TB Day in Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi. He said that Indian government will leave no stone unturned in eliminating tuberculosis.
22 line departments have joined hands for this TB Mukt Bharat, and that is why we have been able to get such good results. So whole of the society, whole of the government इस approach को लेकर के हम चले हैं. हमारा राजनीतिक कमिटमेंट, पॉलिटिकल विल और पॉलिटिकल कमिटमेंट ये इस बात से दर्शाता है कि जिस प्रकार प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा है कि दिसंबर 2025 तक हम चुप नहीं बैठेंगे और ट्यूबरक्लोसिस को एलिमिनेशन करने में कोई भी वी विल नॉट लीव एनी स्टोन अनटर्न्ड एंड वी आर वर्किंग इन दैट डायरेक्शन. दैट वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड.
India's Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Sarabanda Sonowal, is on a 3-day visit to Singapore. He also met Singapore's Minister for Manpower and Second Minister for Trade and Industry, Dr. Tan See Leng, to further discuss ways to strengthen India-Singapore ties and to enhance maritime trade and global shipping ties. The minister held bilateral discussions with France Transport Minister Philippe Tabarot on the sidelines of Singapore Maritime Week. The two leaders talked about growing maritime ties and shared roles in the global shipping industry. Under the joint initiative of the Ministry of Panchayati Raj and the Ministry of External Affairs, an international workshop on land governance is being organized from March 24 to 29th in Gurugram in Haryana. The workshop was inaugurated by Additional Secretary of the Ministry of External Affairs and Additional Secretary of the Ministry of Panchayati Raj. The 6-day workshop will feature various programs, including a demonstration of drone-based land mapping by Indian survey experts. The Additional Secretary of the Ministry of External Affairs, Virat Singh, highlighted the Samvitwa scheme as a commendable step towards rural empowerment.
जो ये स्वामित्व स्कीम चलाई गई और प्रॉपर्टी सर्टिफिकेट्स दिए गए हैं, उसके तहत हमारे यहाँ बहुत अच्छा काम हुआ है. हमें लगा कि ये चीज़ है वो हम दूसरे लोगों को बता सकते हैं. मेरी आशा है कि इस कोर्स के बाद ये सीख पाएंगे कि हम लोगों ने किस तरीके से इस मसले पे काम किया है, किस तरीके से इसको रिजॉल्व करने की कोशिश की है, और इनको आइडियाज़ मिलेगा कि ये ड्रोन टेक्नोलॉजी और लैंड सर्वे थ्रू ड्रोन टेक्नोलॉजी किस तरीके से यूज़ करके अपनी समस्याओं को समाधान कर सकते हैं.
Well, American and Russian officials met in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia to discuss a partial ceasefire in Ukraine on Monday. Officials are now studying a possible resumption of the Black Sea Initiative, an year-long agreement that allowed millions of tons of grain and other food exports to be shipped from Ukraine's ports. President Trump is pressing for a rapid end to the 3-year conflict and hopes the latest round of talks in Riyadh could pave the way for a breakthrough. Meanwhile, the Kremlin has said on Monday that Russia and US had a common understanding, however, adding that negotiations are focused on technical issues, including the Black Sea Initiative, which is about the security of shipping in the region.
There is a common understanding. There are still many different aspects related to the settlement to be worked out.
Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke to United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan about OPEC Plus cooperation and Russia-US talks on Ukraine. The Kremlin said on Monday that the two leaders gave a positive assessment of the level of Russia-UAE strategic cooperation. It further added that the UAE president has expressed his support for the Russia-US dialogue on the conflict in Ukraine, while the Russian president thanked the UAE counterpart for mediating prisoner exchange between Russia and Ukraine, which happened on March 19th. The Ukrainian president stated on Sunday that the discussions with the US and Saudi Arabia were productive and Ukraine's delegation contributed constructively to the talks.
Today marks the second meeting between the Ukrainian and US teams in Saudi Arabia, this time at a more technical level. Our military, our diplomats, and our representatives from the Ministry of Energy. I just spoke with Rustem Umerov. He briefed me on the meeting and the course of the negotiations. Our team is working in a completely constructive manner. The conversation is quite useful.
US and Russian officials began talks in Saudi Arabia on Monday aimed at making progress towards a broader ceasefire in Ukraine. Ukraine's Defense Minister Rustem Umerov, who is also the head of the Ukrainian delegation, arrived for talks with the US on Sunday to discuss energy facilities, protection and critical infrastructure. The talks come as US President Donald Trump intensifies his drive to end the 3-year-old conflict. Following Sunday's primary elections, Istanbul's embattled Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu was officially nominated as a presidential candidate by the opposition Republican People's Party or CHP party for 2028 elections. Meanwhile, Turkey's interior minister said on Monday that more than 1,100 people, including journalists, were detained since protests began on 19th of March. The demonstrations began in Istanbul after Ekrem İmamoğlu's arrest last week and have since spread to more than 55 of Turkey's 81 provinces, sparking clashes with riot police and drawing international condemnation. French President Emmanuel Macron will host a summit of the Coalition of the Willing supporting Ukraine on March 27 to discuss further military aid for Kyiv. Meeting will focus on short-term military support for Ukrainian forces and explore how European countries can provide long-term security guarantees to help Ukraine sustain its defense. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and leaders from the multiple European countries are expected to attend the Paris summit. Zelensky is urging European Union leaders to promptly approve a package of at least $5.45 billion for artillery shells and continued pressure on Russia. In Asia, South Korea's Constitutional Court has reinstated Prime Minister Han Duck-soo as acting president, dismissing his impeachment in a 5-1 vote. The decision follows a political crisis over suspended President Yoon Suk-yeol's alleged attempt to subvert civilian rule. Han's impeachment, driven by opposition over judicial appointments, impacts Yoon's pending impeachment case. At least 6 of the 8 justices must vote to remove Yoon, otherwise he will be reinstated. The courts will begin their arguments in President Yoon's criminal trial on 14th of April. The court's decision has also sparked widespread protests, with hundreds and thousands of South Koreans taking to the streets over the weekend. The protests in South Korea have also intensified ahead of the court verdict, with rallies for and against Yoon drawing large crowds. The situation remains volatile, with courts ruling on Yoon's impeachment expected to exacerbate societal fissures. Well, as authorities in South Korea's southeast continue to struggle to contain multiple wildfires, they are now deploying dozens of helicopters and thousands of firefighters and soldiers. 4 people have been killed so far, with officials warning that high winds and rising temperatures are hindering efforts to extinguish the blazes. French actor Gerard Depardieu on Monday went on trial at a Paris court on charges of sexually assaulting 2 women during a film shoot in 2021. A towering figure for French drama or French cinema, Depardieu has faced a growing number of sexual assault allegations in recent years. He has consistently denied any wrongdoing. A new exhibition opened in Paris, charting the emergence of Snoopy as a fashion icon, with the famed black and white beagle embraced by designers from streetwear brands to couture houses. The show is part of the celebrations for the 75th anniversary of Snoopy, Charlie Brown and the Peanuts comic strip crew, which were created by late American illustrator Charles Schulz. On to some sports news now. Dynamics achievers have done it once again. They lifted the prestigious Indian Open Polo Championship trophy in New Delhi, capping off a historic 125th edition of the tournament with a dominant win in the grand final. Here's more.
Dynamics achievers defended their crown against Carousel at the Jaipur Polo Grounds in New Delhi. The six-checker final began as a tightly contested battle with both teams matching each other for goal in the opening two checkers. However, the tide turned after the second checker when Chris McKenzie of Dynamics Achievers took charge. His exceptional long-range shots not only closed the gap but also gave his team a decisive edge. The guest of honor, Minister of Civil Aviation Ram Mohan Naidu, had the honor of starting the last checker with the ceremonial toss of the ball, adding to the grandeur of the occasion. Achievers were trailing by 2 goals early in the first checker, but Mackenzie's thumping strikes and strategic play helped the Dynamics seize control of the game. The opposing team struggled to recover from the onslaught, and Dynamics maintained their dominance through the final checkers to secure a comfortable 13-9 win.
This is a sport which needs more support in the future, and you would have seen how our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji also, he wants to display the true character of India to the whole world. He wants the things which we were once proud of to come back again, and the people of this country should take pride in it. And I feel polo has a very distinctive role to play in it.
Following the match, Minister of Civil Aviation Ram Mohan Naidu and Lok Sabha member Naveen Jindal facilitated the winners and presented the Player of the Match award to Chris McKenzie for his outstanding performance.
पोलो भारत का तोहफा है पूरी दुनिया के लिए, तो ये बाकी खेलों की तरह नहीं है। ये खेल, पोलो का खेल भारत के अंदर डिस्कवर किया गया और अब पूरे विश्व में खेला जाता है, और भारतीय पोलो संघ, इंडियन पोलो एसोसिएशन अब चाहती है कि हम पोलो को किस तरह से और ज़्यादा लोकप्रिय करें।
The event concluded with a spectacular performance by the 61st Cavalry of the Indian Army, showcasing their elite horse riding skills in an exhibition that left the audience in awe.
The age of polo is back. The royal sport of India is having a resurgence, and this match and this tournament was a testament to that fact. It is safe to say that the royal sport of India is reclaiming its glory. With cameraman Shiv, this is Meher Raj Singh for DD India, Delhi.
Well, from an engineer to record-breaking powerlifter, this is the inspiring journey of Punjab's Jasprit Kaur. Just a few years ago, she had no idea about para-powerlifting. Today, she has etched her name in history at the Khelo India Para Games 2025. In an exclusive conversation with DD India's Narayan Singh, she takes through her journey of becoming a para-athlete.
There are several stories of determination, grit and courage are emerging from the platform of Khelo India Para Games 2025. And one such story is of Jasprit Kaur. Jasprit won gold in the power weightlifting and she broke the national record. Jasprit, congratulations for creating a new national record and also breaking your own national record. So, how you look the platform of the Khelo India Para Games for the athlete?
Actually, this platform is very useful and very helpful for us, because like this gives us proper international exposure experience we get here, like proper warm-up area, and now people knows about Para Games.
But tell about your journey, how you came to know about the Para Games.
Actually, it is very interesting journey, and I always think I didn't choose the game chose me, because I have no idea about Para Games. Till 2021, I have no idea that there is something called Para Games or some Para Games are there. So in 2021 only, when I was overweight, I left my job after doing MTech from NIT. I left my job because I was overweight. My weight is very much, 82 kg. So I came home. So while that journey, I have free time. I started UPSC preparation. So after clearing pre, while reading the newspaper, I come to know about like there some para players got some medals. I thought, what is para games? Then I searched. I got two names, Rajinder Singh Rahelu and Paramjit Kumar. Both are like champions in our game. So Rajinder Singh Rahelu, my coach, he is the first para Olympic medal, and till now no one got medal. So I contacted Paramjit Kumar. He is also single world championship medalist. He contacted our coach. Then they told me if you get medal in national, you can come to SAI. So I got national medal, gold medal, and I came to SAI. They took me in SAI. Now I am training there only in SAI, Sports Authority of India, Gandhinagar.
Definitely, the way Jaspreet said that a good environment is there for the para athletes, and now they are also getting equal recognition, equal respect, equal reward and award also. So it's a good thing that the environment in the sports is inclusive, and definitely days are not far when India will lead the world in sports arena also. With camera person Anand Kashyap, Narayan Singh, DD India, Delhi.
Well, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Sakal Bhatt, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.
हो गया इंतजाम।
किसका?
गुड्डी की फीस का।
दिखा।